Battle for the soul. What does it mean to protect? Let's take a look at Bleach's search for the self. What is the line between a protector and a monster? Is your identity something you're born with or something you choose? Most see Bleach as a story of a teenager with orange hair who fights ghosts with a giant sword, but to stop there is to miss the point entirely. Beneath its slick, stylish surface, Bleach is a deep, philosophical exploration of identity, the weight of legacy, and the very architecture of the soul. This is a story of a boy who was never meant to be just one thing, and his fight to protect what matters in a universe that insists on putting everything in a box. From its first arc, Bleach establishes its core conflict, the battle between the Shinigami, Soul Reapers, who usher souls to the afterlife, and the Hollow, a lost soul corrupted by regret and instinct. But the series immediately begins to blur this line. Our hero, Ichigo Kurosaki, isn't a pure Shinigami. He's a substitute, a human who borrowed power, and very quickly he discovers that the monster he fights is also a part of him. His inner hollow isn't a separate entity, it's his own instinct for survival, his rage, his fear, everything he tries to suppress to be a hero. The hollow is a metaphor for the parts of ourselves that we deny. The fight isn't to destroy it, but to accept it, to wield its power without losing himself to it. The ultimate question Bleach asks is, can you integrate your darkness, or will it consume you? Ichigo spends much of the story believing he's an ordinary kid who stumbled into power, but he's wrong. His very existence is a product of immense conflicting legacies. He is a hybrid, a human with a Quincy mother, a Shinigami father, and a hollow infection that bonded with his Soul Reaper powers. He is a living paradox. Every power-up isn't just a new technique, it's him embracing another piece of his fraught inheritance. This theme extends to the world itself. The Soul Society is not a paradise, it's a rigid, feudal hierarchy built on the sins of the past. The noble families cling to the tradition and power, and the entire system is upheld by a mutilated, imprisoned god, the Soul King. Ichigo's journey is about rejecting the destinies others have carved out for him, and choosing his own path. He isn't a king or a pawn, he is a substitute, an outsider, and that is his greatest strength. The true antagonists of Bleach are rarely just evil. They are ideologues who see the current order as flawed and want to replace it with their own. Sasuke Aizen looked at the Soul King, the linchpin of reality, and saw a flaw to be corrected. He rejected his place in the universe and sought to become a god himself out of sheer existential boredom. The Quincy, led by Yhwach, saw a world where hollows are purified by Shinigami as an unnatural cycle that destroys Quincy souls. Their goal was to tear down the entire system and create a world without the fear of death, a perfect world devoid of the very struggle that defines life. These conflicts force us to ask, who is really right? The corrupt guardians? The revolutionary madman? The genocidal emperor? Bleach argues that no system is perfect, and that blind loyalty to any institution is a danger in itself. At its core, Bleach is a battle for the soul in the philosophical sense. It's a clash between nihilism and human connection. This is perfectly encapsulated in the arc of Ulquiorra Schiffer, an Espada who believes that the heart is a meaningless metaphor, that existence is purely logical and empty. He cannot understand why Ichigo fights so hopelessly, why Orihime cries for her friends. His entire arc is a cold, logical entity trying and failing to comprehend the warmth of human connection. In the end, he dies not in a flash of power, but in a moment of tragic, beautiful confusion, reaching for a heart that he could never believe in. This stands in direct opposition to Yhwach's final goal, a world without fear, without struggle, without death, a world without loss, but also without growth, without love, without meaning. Ichigo fights not just to save the world, but to save a world where feelings, pain, joy, grief, love, matter. Bleach is often criticized for its style over substance, but its style is its substance. The evolving Zanpakuto, the elaborate costumes, the dramatic poses, they are all external manifestations of internal struggles for identity. Ichigo's journey isn't about becoming the strongest Soul Reaper, it's about answering the question, what does it mean to protect? He learns that to protect others, he must first understand and accept every part of himself. The human, the Shinigami, the Quincy, and the Hollow. He must be willing to stand against the very systems meant to maintain order when they lose sight of their purpose. In the end, Bleach is a story about finding your identity in a universe of labels and choosing connection over perfection and a flawed feeling world over a peaceful, empty one. Thank you all for being here. Let me know your thoughts.